Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to Our Issues Birmingham. We have a new Birminghamian in town, artistic director with the Alabama State Ballet, Christopher Stuart.
Hi, Tommy. Nice to see you.
It's good to see you in a different environment.
Yes, definitely.
How's things at the ballet?
It's going wonderful. It's only been 4 months since we started, and we had our first performance series at home, which you attended, and that's where we met. And I was just floored to hear how well the performances went. They were sold out. I didn't realize that was the first time that series had ever sold out. So it was a great way to start the season.
And it was 2 consecutive weekends of 3 shows that were sold out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was quite a big deal. So for years, Tracy Abney was our artistic director, and Roger Van Flettering, of course, is
the associate artistic director.
And you do choreography, as does Roger.
Yeah.
So I'm around the ballet a good bit because I help them with some other things involved in their productions. So, how did you end up in the South?
Well, I grew up in a very small town in Connecticut, and that's where I started with doing musical theater. I didn't really get into ballet until I was about 13 or 14, and I realized pretty soon into my dance schooling that I was better at doing jazz and tap and ballet than singing and doing lines on stage. So I eventually started going to the Hartford Ballet, which was a professional company in Hartford.
Right.
Traveling there, we lived about an hour away. Started doing their productions as a child in Nutcracker, and started to get really serious about it. So I started going to New York City, would take the train in by myself. I don't know how my parents let me do that at 14 years old, but that was a different time.
It was a different time. You could survive that trip.
I did. I started going and started talking to people, and they said, you should go to a summer intensive. And I said, what is that? They're like, it's basically a camp for dance. So I went to Boston Ballet for 2 summers, and while I was there, I was taking class with 50 other guys in one class. And I, in my small town, I had probably about 3 or 4 guys in the whole studio.
Wow.
So to be around that much talent, it just was amazing. And one of my friends said, you should think about going to boarding school. And I said, boarding school? And they're like, yeah, there's this school in Virginia that you should really look at, and it's a boarding school for ballet. So at 16, I asked my parents, and without hesitation, they said, if this is what you want to do with your life, we'll support you.
Oh, great.
Which was amazing because I didn't come from an arts family at all. So I spent a year at Virginia School of the Arts, and then found another school that is one of the most prestigious art schools in the nation, the University of North Carolina School of the Arts in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So I spent the rest of my schooling there. And then, like every other dancer, I auditioned for companies, got into a few spots, but I found Nashville Ballet in Nashville, Tennessee. So I moved down there in 2002, went up through the ranks all the way through principal, and then started getting into choreography. Started choreographing on the company, became resident choreographer there, and then COVID hit. And one of my
Pause.
Yeah, pause. So I was just, figuring out what we were going to do, and a dear friend of mine and somebody I'd worked with, in the past called me and said, would you like to be the new second company director at Charlotte Ballet? And jumped at the chance.
Wow.
So we moved, my wife and our eldest daughter moved there during COVID, and then we spent 3 years there. And I was promoted to interim artistic director for a season, and then felt like it was my time to find something new. Things had changed, and I really wanted to be a part of another organization. So when I found out that Alabama was looking for a new artistic director, I just jumped at the chance. And
It's a good place.
It's an amazing
And
place.
the ballet community in
Oh.
Birmingham is fantastic.
It's absolutely amazing. Everybody, I keep meeting new people every day. Now, granted, we've only been here for about 4 months, but my family and I just feel so welcome.
Well,
it's just amazing city.
I'm a local boy. I grew up here,
Mhm.
and have my daughter, when she was 14, asked me why I stayed here. She seemed to have a better vision of where she wanted to live, and now lives in Tampa, which is a very exciting
Sure.
town. Birmingham is coming along, and even in recent history has come a long way. But in terms of the ballet, I don't think people appreciate the magnitude of our school.
Mm.
It's very well respected throughout the country as being a very primo place.
Yes.
Is that
That
what,
is- yeah.
is that the reputation we have throughout the country?
Yes, I think there's so many different pillars in our organization, and the school is one of them. And I think to be able to teach and develop young students, and I say young, but then all the way up until 99 years old. We have students from the age of 3 all the way to older adults, and it doesn't matter what age.
You have a 99-year-old student?
We have a tappers group, and I know they're up there. I don't know the age, so I apologize if they're.
I didn't know you had a tappers
But we'll
group.
take that's the thing, Tom. I think it doesn't matter what age you want to take up the art form. We invite anybody that wants to come and learn how to dance.
Well, we'll talk about that when we come back from break, okay? Because I want to talk about how you get dancers here.
Yeah.
This is Our Issues Birmingham. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. We're talking about the Alabama State Ballet. It's located down on First Avenue South. It's a very high-tech building as far as dance studios go. I mean, it is designed for its purpose, and it's very functional. So we were talking about how you attract dancers. Some dancers are there in paid positions. Some dancers are invited from other states to come dance there. Some dancers are children of parents who want them to take ballet at the Alabama State Ballet. How does that process work in general?
Yeah, well, like I said before, we invite everybody, no matter, who they are, into our building to experience ballet and dance in general. As far as our students in our school, if they want to sign up, they can sign up and take classes. It's easy as that. There's no audition into the school at all. As far as our apprentices and company dancers, we usually hold a audition at our studios. We also travel to different cities and states to find dancers. And then we also invite dancers to come and take company class. And myself and the staff will look at them and talk with them and interview them like any other job interview. And we see if it's going to be a good fit for both myself, the company, and the applicant.
So when you say company class, what does that mean?
So company class is something that the dancers do every day. It starts at the bar, they do exercises, and then they end up going to the center to practice their turns, their jumps. Ladies usually put their point shoes on to try to strengthen their feet. It's home-based. It's something that they do every single day, and then 5 hours of rehearsal after, and then perform. So I can equate it to...
They're long days.
They are very long days. I equate it to sports. They have the strength and training, and then they have practice, and then they have the game. And that's similar to ballet. They have strength and training, ballet class, then they have practice, rehearsals,
Then they perform.
and then they have the game, which is performance. And I know a lot of people say, oh, football's not ballet, but I have to tell you, ballet is very, very hard. And being in Nashville for a long time, we had a lot of professional football players and athletes come and take ballet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, older football players, Lynn Swan, I'm trying to think, Eddie George, that played for
to
the Titans.
strengthen those muscles.
Yeah, and that fast footwork, especially for running backs. So if there's any football players out there that want to come and take class.
Yeah, and nobody will make fun of you. So you will not be made fun of. We use the ballet company. I think of that as like the regulars, for lack of a better word. But there are individuals who aren't of that caliber of dancers. Let's say they're a beginner. So those individuals can reach out to you and sign up for a class like they would at any other dance studio in town or something like that?
Exactly. And then they also have the opportunity to be in performances with the company as Nutcracker or any other ballets that we need a youth cast. But they also have their own performances at the end of the season.
So I don't think people realize that on the second Tuesday of almost every month, there is a short performance at the studio, and it's called Second Tuesday.
Yep.
And tell the viewers what that's about.
Well, it's kind of a behind the scenes, a sneak peek of what performances are coming up next. And we just had one in it was for Nutcracker, which is coming up soon. And we really highlighted the youth cast because the youth cast really drives this production. There's over 100 kids in the production, and they are working so many days a week and so many hours, pretty close to what the company dancers are working. And we wanted to highlight and show, just the level of talent that we have, not only at our ballet school, but in Birmingham and the outer counties of Birmingham. And it's been enjoyable to watch them.
Well, and I would assume that when you get a young dancer, you want them to stick around. Don't you want longevity?
Yes.
And for them to stay as long as the program allows them to stay?
Yes, I think of it as a pipeline. We would love to have kids, from the age 3 all the way up until they decide to either go on to college or go to another company, or would love to have them join our company.
Yeah.
At Alabama Ballet. I think that would be amazing because we can show that you can have that homegrown talent right here in Birmingham.
I want to talk about Nutcracker in just a minute, but very briefly, money is always an issue in the arts.
Yeah.
And I know you get some help from the city of Birmingham because I did what I could to try to help make that happen.
Yeah.
But you rely a good bit on sponsors and contributors.
Individual giving, yes, yeah. I think when I think about funding and individual giving, I just think of what passions do they have and what do they want out of giving to our organization, and whether that's through our educational programming, whether that's through our scholarship programs, whether it's underwriting a ballet for the company. I would love to find people that want to invest and join us on this journey to help grow this organization to the top.
And if they want to, they can just make a call or log into the website.
alabamaballet.org, and you can find our number on there, and I would love to personally talk to them if they want to call and have a conversation. So.
All right, well, we're going to take a break, and then
Sounds
we're going to
good.
get down to Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
He's looking over my shoulder. This is Our Issues Birmingham. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. We've been talking about the ballet and lots of things related to the ballet, but something that's coming up real soon is the Nutcracker. And we have the privilege, I would say, of having a specific version
Yes.
of the Nutcracker that just doesn't go to just any old ballet company.
No.
It's
not.
it's the George Balanchine
Yep.
version, I guess.
Yes.
And with that comes costumes and all kinds of things. But explain to the audience how significant it is to be able to have that particular version of the Nutcracker.
Well, it's one of the most famous versions of Nutcracker. It was choreographed in the 50s, so it's pretty old, but it's timeless.
Easy. I was born in that year.
Yeah, but we're one of 8 companies in the world that are able to do this production.
In the world.
The repertoire that we work with, Darla Hoover, worked with George Balanchine in New York City Ballet, and she fought for us to get this version in Birmingham. And I think it's a timeless ballet. Thousands and thousands of dancers have been able to do this production, but not everyone. And I think it's a joy. It's a wonderful holiday tradition, and we're looking forward to these performances here in 2023.
What are the dates?
The dates are December 15th through the 23rd at BJCC.
At the concert hall?
Yes.
And does it just run for one? That's 2 weekends?
2 weekends, yes.
Friday, Saturday,
Sunday.
and a
then-
matinee
yeah.
somewhere in there?
Yeah, and then we go straight all the way to the 23rd. So it's a pretty long haul. It's a lot of performances. So get your tickets fast at alabamaballet.org.
Do they sell out?
We are already selling out, and there's a fall special right now that is running, and if you want the best seats, you got to get them fast.
So how many performers are in
Well,
this
we have,
particular version?
Yeah, there's a lot. In this production, we have 40 professional dancers, and then each performance we have about 50 youth cast members. But we have multiple casts, so we're talking probably at least 100 to 150 kids.
Because not everybody performs every show
Not every
in the
show.
same
It'll be a lot. It'll be a lot, yeah.
Are these dancers that are from our ballet company, or do we get dancers from other ballet companies that come in and do it?
Oh, no. We use our professional dancers that
I mean, I
audition.
wasn't trying to be insulting. I just
No,
didn't know.
no. Well, and that's the thing. No, because
I didn't know if the Balanchine folks had some protocols that you have to comply with. I'm
No.
sure they do, but
well, not with us. We have a very high caliber group of dancers here at Alabama Ballet. A lot of them are not originally from here. They moved here to be a part of this organization, and they're working so hard and can't wait to have our performances of George Balanchine's Nutcracker.
so get out there and get your tickets now, because they will go fast and they will sell out. I can vouch for that. So for the future, what do you see in your new role as artistic director of the ballet, from where it's been under the previous director
Sure.
to where your vision for the future?
Well, I definitely want to bring up the ballet in many different aspects, and that's the school, the company, our education department. I want to bring it to more national and international recognition, and it can be done. And there's a lot of people that are wanting to come and be a part of Alabama Ballet that have reached out to me. Obviously, we want to grow the organization, which means we need to raise more money. But there's a lot to be said with Birmingham. They really want to see more arts here, and I think I as a former dancer and a child that grew up being a dancer, I see how it affects people, especially small children. And if you want to be a part of the organization, just go to alabamaballet.org and yeah, we'll see you at the studios.
Do we get a lot of dancers in from out of state? And what accommodations do we have for them in terms of residency? Or they just find an apartment somewhere?
Yeah, so they, as I said earlier, they come in audition, and then they are on a contract that is around 30 to 35 weeks, and they are citizens of Birmingham. They find their own residence. Some of them work other jobs if they need to, but I think it just shows the overall development and drive for this organization to make it better.
Yeah, it seems like the dancers' responsibilities consume most of their days. So it would be very difficult if it were me.
Yeah.
I mean, do they parallel going to college with dancing?
No,
does that
yes,
happen?
Yeah, there's a lot of dancers in our company that are in school right now. I know some of them are at UAB. They're taking classes there. I've known dancers throughout my career that did both. It may take them a little longer, but they knew if they weren't going to stick to the art form after they retired from being a professional dancer, they needed to start figuring out what that transition looked like.
Well, welcome to our city.
Thank you so much.
I got confidence in where we're going in the future
Appreciate
with you and where the ballet is going. This is Our Issues Birmingham. We'll see you next Sunday.
Good Morning Alabama, breaking down why it matters to you, forecasting for your neighborhood so you'll know what's next, and showing you traffic trouble before you go. Check us out tomorrow because this team is working for you. Mornings, 4:30 to 7 a.m. Meteorologist James Spann and ABC 3340 News, working for you.
Tuesdays,
This was like a complete game from them.
only on the CW.
You want to know what time it is?
Into the end zone!
Time to play some football.
Don't miss Inside the NFL.
Everybody's making plays.
Every Tuesday night, we come here to make a statement.
This was a defensive win.
We play a physical brand of football.
Let's go!
Inside the NFL.
Tuesday at 7 on CW 21.
Happy holidays to you and yours from all of us at the CW.